sweetest talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob, and this video we're going to talk a little Avengers, Age of Ultron. Now, a lot of concept art released recently, and overall it looks good. Quicksilver, let's just jump to the pictures real quick, okay? Let's jump to the pictures. Okay, so let's pull up the concept art for Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And, when you look at the concept art and you look at the real footage, which we're going to get to in a second, for the most part, with Scarlet Witch, they kept the style. The only difference is in the regular picture you're about to see in a second, you'll see that she's wearing black. She has more of a pale, very grunge look. But I think it's good. I think a lot of times as fans, we want to see the original costumes from the comic, and I'm one of those people. But there are some costumes that just, in my opinion, don't go over very well. Scarlet Witch's costume from the comics I just don't see it transitioning too well into the movie. So I'm okay with this look. I have no problem with it. I think she looks good. Obviously, out of the three Olsen sisters, she's the least anorexic. Actually, she's got quite a nice body. Now, Quicksilver, on the other hand, what we see here is not actually what we're going to see in the next picture. And I like that look there. But let's take a look at the Quicksilver that's actually on screen. And we're going to do... Alright, so here we are. I'm okay with the outfit. Okay, the outfit's fine. That's not a big deal. The hair, first of all, it's way better than Quicksilver X-Men. I just got to say that right now. The hair, though, to me, I don't know why they would go away from what they had in the concept art. I thought that was perfect. Unless what happens is this is one of the scenes where there's so much fighting going on. Maybe this Quicksilver slicks his hair back, and during the fight, it just gets all discombobulated. I'll assume that, but that's probably not the case. This is probably going to be his hair. Not too crazy about it, I got to be honest, but overall, much better than the X-Men. He doesn't look like Elton John. But, the hair, I think I could have I would have went with the concept art on that one. So, but overall, not bad looks. And then, we also know the Hulkbuster is going to be in there, and here's concept art of that. So very interesting. I didn't think he was that big, but again, this is concept art. This is not a final. So we'll see what happens with that. And, just a couple more screenshots of the characters. Here's Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye getting down and dirty with some enemies. We don't know what the enemies are, but obviously I'm sure Ultron will have his own team. And obviously they did not upgrade Hawkeye to something else. That outfit is getting old. I'm not saying he has to have the mask with the whole H on it. I understand if you don't want to take that from the comic. But I would like to see a little bit more of the purple color in there to really signify who he is. I mean, we all know he's Hawkeye. We all know from the first Avengers and this and that. But, when I think of Hawkeye, I do think of that nice color scheme he has. And he just doesn't have that here. I mean, you see it's a very, very dark, almost blends in with the black purple on that vest. But outside of that, there's nothing else. And here is another shot of Elizabeth Olsen. Boy, she's got a rock there. I gotta. But very grungy look. I like the look. I do. I like the look. It's so odd to see her and Aaron Taylor Johnson working together again in this movie as siblings. Where in Godzilla they're going to be playing a married couple, or at least a couple. So very interesting there. And here is this is Ultron. Now, obviously. He got a little cold, he said, I gotta throw on a North Face, man. This is fucking cold out here, man. This armor ain't cutting it. No, but seriously, obviously this is just a stand-in for what's probably going to be a CGI, and I don't know if that's James Spader or not under there. It could be a stunt double, and they're doing a suit, the whole animated movement animation where they put the whole little things on a person's body, and they take their movements, record their movements. So they could be doing that with James Spader, and this could be a stunt double filling in so that the actors have something to reference to when they're filming. So don't get nervous about this picture, but this is maybe an idea of what he might look like, but I'm sure obviously that is not the end result. So, but overall, and here's just another single shot of Quicksilver real quick. And I like that look. That to me is probably what they should have went with. But who knows? Like I said, it could just be that in that scene, because of all the fighting and stuff like this, his hair just gets messed up. Maybe he slicks it back to look like that or something like that. I don't know. But overall, I like what I see so far. Quicksilver, the hair is the only problem I have with this one. Where the X-Men one, the issue that I have is the whole thing. Basically the whole thing. Now, another interesting point is, obviously, I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't even know this until I started reading up more on the movie. But the Vision's going to be in it. And Vision is going to be played by Paul Bettany. Now, for those of you who don't know Paul Bettany, he actually does the voice of Jarvis. So it's going to be interesting because it looks like he might be playing a dual role unless Jarvis becomes Vision. So that's going to be an interesting thing, but at least we're getting Vision. I think Paul Bettany is a great actor. For those of you who may not, you probably have seen him in work before but don't know his name, but he was in quite a few movies, actually. Wimbledon was one of them. He was in Wimbledon. He played Kirsten Dunst's love interest, the old tennis player. He was also in the Da Vinci Code. He was the monk who constantly beat himself. If you remember The Knight's Tale, one of Heath Ledger's first movies, he played his herald. So very, very fine actor. He was also in a movie with Mel Gibson where I think he played some sort of I remember the movie because he was in it and he played the primary villain. But a very, very fine actor. He's been doing the voice of Jarvis since Iron Man started. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be playing a dual role, or B, if Jarvis becomes Vision in and of itself. So I think I heard a rumor that might be the case, but I'm not 100% sure. I really haven't dug too deep. Don't want to spoil things too much, but so far it looks like they're on the right track. Obviously, we'll be getting the Hulk and Captain America and the whole 9 yards, and Ultron will be playing the villain. I love that James Spader is playing Ultron. James Spader has been around for years. For those of you out there that are viewers of this channel who are my age, that we've been around since the bicentennial, according to, in comparison to some of these kids, James Spader has been doing movies since the 80s. In fact, it's almost funny that him and Robert Downey Jr. are playing opposite roles because they were both very prominent in those 80s teen flicks. Like Robert Downey Jr. was in Weird Science and a bunch of other 80s movies. James Spader was in Pretty in Pink and a couple of other his own 80 movies and also in some 90s movies. He also was in Wolf with Jack Nicholson back in the day. So he's done tons of work. And a lot of you know him now probably from Boston Legal and The Blacklist. So he's a very, very fine actor. I'm very excited to see him back on the silver screen. I don't know how long it's been since he's made a movie. But it's nice to see him in this movie and playing the primary villain, because if this guy does one thing good, is play a villain. He plays a villain very well. Trust me on that. I've seen him play a villain throughout the years, man. He's got it. So he's going to be a good villain. So I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited to see that Paul Bettany is going to be the Vision. Also, obviously, Kobe Smulders and Don Cheadle will be returning as Maria Hill and, Rhodey, I almost forgot his name there, but Rhodey, aka the Iron Patriot or War Machine, however you want to call him. So it's going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm sure that Ultron will provide a big challenge for the Avengers, and hopefully Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch will provide them with some assistance to get through it. Anyway, guys, this is Rob signing off for ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy. See you next video.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Nation Facebook page. You're watching ETN, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob, and this video we're going to talk a little Avengers, Age of Ultron. Now, a lot of concept art released recently, and overall it looks good. Quicksilver, let's just jump to the pictures real quick, okay? Let's jump to the pictures. Okay, so let's pull up the concept art for Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And, when you look at the concept art and you look at the real footage, which we're going to get to in a second, for the most part, with Scarlet Witch, they kept the style. The only difference is in the regular picture you're about to see in a second, you'll see that she's wearing black. She has more of a pale, very grunge look, But I think it's good. I think a lot of times as fans, we want to see the original costumes from the comic, and I'm one of those people. But there are some costumes that